This is Scott from the fragrance channel, Scott Aromatico. Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad to have you guys. Thank you for joining me. You're in for a real special treat. Today, I'm super excited to be joined by my friend Joe from the fragrance channel. Go ahead and tell him, Joe, what your fragrance channel is called.
It is Joescentme. Joescentme is my channel.
Awesome. Yeah, pretty easy to find. And Joe is doing big things on YouTube. He's big in the fragrance community. You're a pillar in the fragrance community. And you don't just do content creating, you do a whole lot of other things with fragrances as well.
That's right.
Okay. Joe, just real quick, just so people can kind of get to know you, share what you're willing to share, but just kind of give them a little bit of background information about who you are, where you're from, and anything you're willing to share with the fragrance community.
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Joe. I am, as you can see, I'm a fragrance lover. I'm a crazy fragrance lover. I love fragrances, but it started off at a very young age, actually. I was always paying attention to what my teachers wore. In fact, even in the second grade, I noticed smell and scents. And I remember smelling my teacher in the second grade who used to smoke. Back in the day, you could smoke in school, and the teachers would smoke and have a smoker's lounge. And she was a heavy smoker, but she wore Vanilla Fields. So she smelled like she'd come into class with a puff of smoke still in her mouth. And she smelled Vanilla Fields. So she had this cheap Vanilla Fields with the smoke. And I realized I kind of liked it. It was weird and off-putting, but I liked it. It was weird. I noticed my math teacher in high school always wore polo green and things like that. So I would always I was always into fragrances, even at a very young age. Whether I smell a lady's fragrance or a men's fragrance, whether I was in a department store or whatever, I was always into fragrances. So I was collecting at a very young age. Didn't really get into niche until I could afford to get into niche. And then it really took off after I started going to the trade shows and I started my channel in 2016. So that's when things really, really, really took off for me. Okay. So yeah, there I am.
2016. Okay. Wow. You've been doing it for a good while then.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. All right. So my next question was, what was the one thing that got you into being a fragrance collector, but you pretty much covered it just, going to school and, just your teachers and whatnot. Was your dad or mom ever into fragrances at all? Or was it just from school?
My mother, my father wasn't. My mother and father split up when I was very young. Okay. But so he wasn't really in the picture, but she liked to wear certain fragrances. I think she had Givenchy, and I think she also had Guerlain at some point. And it was just whatever she could pick up at the department store. She didn't have a signature scent per se, but she did have some things.
Okay, so when you were like a senior in high school, or maybe even a freshman, did you go to college?
I did.
Okay, how many fragrances did you have back then? During that, did you have a bunch?
I maybe had 2 or 3.
Okay, so it wasn't like crazy like it is right now.
No. Like back then it was whatever was gifted to me from like friends and family, or whenever, I decided to splurge a little and buy, buy a bottle here and there, but I never had like more than 5 bottles at a time.
Okay. So 2016 is when you looked up and realized that this was a passion.
2016 was when my wife decided to step down from doing the beauty videos, and I was her producer. I was her video editor, and we had all the equipment in the room for it. And when she stepped down, she told me to start doing fragrance videos. So I actually had started collecting way before 2016, but it really, really picked up in 2016 and up. That's when things got really big.
Okay. Awesome. So my next question was what event or what inspired you to be a content creator? It was your wife then?
My wife inspired me because she was one already, but I was doing her videos for her. I was producing, I was editing, I was doing all of those things for her. And so I sometimes would like to show up on her channel and do fragrance videos for her. And it was fun to do fragrance videos with her and things like that, because her videos were based on beauty, but fragrances are part of that. That's an aspect of beauty. Yeah. And so that was something that I like to throw in there once in a while, and people loved it. Like her audience loved when I was there.
Were you nervous at all?
No, actually, I thought I would be, but I enjoyed it. I kind of feel like I like the spotlight a little bit, you know.
Okay. You've got that thing going. You've got that quality. There's something about you. So you definitely have that. You got to have a little something about you for people to be interested.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see. I was going to ask you how long you've been a fragrance enthusiast, but we pretty much kind of talked about that. And you've been content creating since 2016. So what, 5-6 years now?
Yeah.
And were you, how do I phrase this? Were you ever embarrassed of, like having so many fragrances or telling people that you did this, or were you just right out with it and you didn't care?
Yeah, I had no shame. Now, I will say I don't talk about this at work because where I work is a completely different industry. Okay. And I also don't want anybody at work to get the wrong idea and think that I'm doing this instead of work.
Yes, that makes sense.
So I do keep that life separate. Now, I will say that if there's somebody at work who's a fragrance enthusiast, I will then start gushing. I'll then start like, okay, well, then we need to talk. But I never go out of my way to, unless there's somebody who really is into fragrances, I never go out of my way at work to talk about it. But whenever I go out to a department store or whenever I go to like Neiman Marcus, Saks or something, when, sometimes the sales associates are not always savvy, but sometimes they are, but sometimes they aren't. But sometimes they think you're a nobody, sadly. Mm-hmm. You walk in there and they don't think you're real, or they don't think you know what you're talking about. Sometimes you have to whip out your phone and show them, this is my room, this is my channel, this is who I am, this is what I do. And yeah, I would love to talk to you more about this or that or whatever to help,
I thought it was just me.
People out. Yeah.
I thought it was just me. I gained 2 subscribers from Dillard's doing this.
It's funny. Dillard's is in the South, and we don't have Dillard's here. But Dillard's is a nice little department store, actually.
Yeah. We were talking about notes and pyramids and dry downs, and when certain fragrances work in the cold and the heat, and they don't like that because then they can't sell the fragrance all year round. So they don't want to say a fragrance only works in the winter or the summer. They want to tell the customer that it works all year round.
I still wear all the winter ones all year round anyway, because our building is air conditioned to the point where it's cold. Now, what do you do? What's your thing? What's your
as far as profession?
Yes.
Yeah. I drive a truck. I used to be in sales for this company that sold commercial insulation, and I was a salesman, and I just got burnt out with it. And I brought a buddy of mine that was managing a large company over, and he became the truck driver for us. And he kept bragging to me about how much he loved traveling and how much it was a load off his mind to not bring work home. And I started getting jealous of him. The grass is greener on the other side. And there was another guy that was a driver and wanted my position in sales because he thought it would be better, and we switched. And I haven't looked back, and I've been so happy. So what I do is I deliver insulation, I pull insulation. It's commercial. It's not, it's not for homes and stuff. We load up the box truck, and I live in South Carolina. So I drive to Atlanta, I drive to Charleston, I drive to Columbia, North Carolina, Charlotte. And that's all I do is pull orders and drive. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
And you're back home the same day, or sometimes
I'm back home the same day. I'm home, by 5, and sometimes 4, sometimes 5. And then I have the rest of the evening to play with my 3 kids and make videos and, go after my passions. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. And then your truck gets to smell amazing. You don't have to worry about offending anybody in the truck.
No, man. And I even keep fragrances there at in my locker. And so I'm always reapplying, and so it's funny.
Yeah. See, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm in sales. I'm on the flip side of that. I'm in sales, but I'm working in the music industry. So I help musicians, recording engineers, live sound guys, all those guys, major artists. I work with major artists, and I design their PA rigs. I design their recording studios. I get to sell them everything they need to make music, create music, and to tour with it. So
that is awesome. That is so cool. It's so funny how many people I've interviewed now, because I've done some of the smaller content creators and some of the bigger ones like yourself. And so many people are into music in this, like from Justin, and just so many guys are playing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, music is an art form as well, but you know,
It
music
is.
and fragrances actually, music and fragrances go hand in hand. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of parallels in
Yes.
notes. I mean, first of all, notes and
Right.
accords, literally, those are musical terms almost,
They are.
you know, and so composition, that's a musical term.
It is.
So, and then you have these top notes, which are your treble notes, mid notes, and then you have your bass notes, which are bass notes. And the frequencies of each of these notes are high frequency, mid frequency, low frequencies, and they're identical to audible frequencies. So the same way we hear is the same way we smell. It's amazing, and
Yeah.
it's
That is
why
amazing.
lemon and these top notes that dissolve very quickly, it's that's why they're considered high frequency notes, because those are the notes that dissipate quicker. Bass notes, which are low frequency notes, take a lot longer for them to, you know, to fully perpetuate, you know. So that's the reason why they last longer on you, you know. That's the reason why that's what you smell at the end, and that's what's supposed to last the rest of the 6 hours of you wearing a fragrance. So there's a lot of parallels in the music,
Yeah.
and there's a lot.
Awesome, man. I don't play music. I love it, but I do draw, and I do that with some frequency, and I love art. So
Yep. Well, there's even there's visual. There's also
yeah.
synesthesia as well. So
Yeah, I get so attracted to, like, I'll just throw out there, like, zoologists with their drawings and their art and their story. What's one of the things that attracts me to them is that the storytelling and the art. So I definitely that's from my artist point of view, you know. So
yep, I'll let you get back to your questions. I'm sorry I had to sidetrack you a little bit, but
I'm glad you did. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What's your favorite part about being a content creator?
My favorite part is really the people. Especially the people that are like-minded, getting to know new people, making friends in this industry. The big part is just the relationships that I have developed and created in this industry, and knowing that I have impacted or influenced or even inspired someone. That to me is the most fulfilling thing of all of this. It's not what's behind me. That is just a byproduct of all of that. Amen. It's what I get to do. It's the relationships that I've built. It's the people that I get to meet. It's the people that I get to help. For me, when someone like you who sends me a message offline that says, "Hey man, I just bought that thing because of you." I don't get anything out of that. I don't get any money from that. I just get the pleasure of knowing that I did that. I had something to do with that. And guess what? Now you have this fragrance and you're loving it, and you never had it before. And thanks to me, you now know about it. And it's like, I love that. And then you get to tell people about it, and other people get to, it's really just, that's what I like. I love that I have that kind of a power, and I like to use that power responsibly and do good in this world with it. So
yeah, absolutely. Everything you said is right on the dot, and that is why I asked you, because of the inspiring part of it, and your point of view. Everybody needs to hear your point of view, and you're definitely an inspiration in the community. So it's 100% why I messaged you to do this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, and I definitely have bought a fragrance because of you, and then when I bought it, I told another guy, and he bought it because. So you are responsible for that.
It's amazing. I love that. I love that. That to me is fulfilling.
We're all doing it anyways. We used to do it when we go to movies. Did you see that movie? And you tell somebody, and then they go see it because you liked it. So
exactly. Or did you go to their restaurant?
Right. Yeah. What's your least favorite thing about being a content creator?
I think the least favorite thing is dealing with jealousy and negativity.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that I don't really participate in it. I don't get to be part of it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't get to be part of any of the drama. I see it and I hear about it. Sometimes it involves me when rumors are created, because there's people that are jealous in this industry, in every industry, including the beauty industry. Gosh, it's so catty. And sometimes, folks like us receive product for review, and there's people out there who are upset about that. There's people that are like, man, that sucks. I had to buy this, and like this guy got it for free, and he's fake, or he's a loser, or this or that, or she's a fake, or whatever. Like that's the part that I don't like, is that there's jealousy and there's that and drama. But I avoid it. I steer away from it. I don't create it, and I don't participate in it, and that's it.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's the best way to be. I just don't understand. It's a hobby to have fun, and I don't know why you'd bring that in the door anyways. It doesn't make sense to me. And I don't hate on anybody for being success. In fact, it inspires me, so.
Absolutely.
And I've had people tell me when I got started, I'm so glad to follow your channel because I only follow the small content creators. And I think to myself, you just insulted me because you don't think I'm going to grow.
Oh, right. I never thought about that.
Wow.
Well, everybody's going to grow. Everybody's going to grow. Yeah. And I'm growing organically. You're growing organically. You're just taking your time. You're not, you're not doing anything shady that, whatever,
No, those people inbox me all the time about, I can grow your account. And I'm like, nope, I don't want to take the shortcut because I won't learn a thing doing that. So.
Yeah.
So, okay. Let's see. Sorry, I lost my spots. So do you think it's worth being a fragrance content creator? I hear a lot of people say now that the market is kind of getting saturated. And so do you think it's still worth, if somebody's thinking about this right now and contemplating going on YouTube and doing fragrances and wanting to make content, do you think it's worth them doing it right now, starting today?
Absolutely. First of all, there's never a shortage of fragrances. 2, there's never a shortage of perspectives. We can never have enough perspective. And you want to know what? Like, I had this same conversation with a few people 3 years ago that wanted to start a channel. These are people who are now 10 times more successful than me, but because they had that conversation with me, because I've encouraged them to go ahead and do it, they're doing way better than me. Why? Because that's their perspective is great, and people love who they are, their personality. There are different personalities and different perspectives, and I think everybody has something to offer. So if you love this and you're passionate about it and you want to do this, do it and be different. Don't try to be like anybody else. Be yourself, but do it. And you'd be surprised. Like, you may be better than me. And guess what? I'm not going to be jealous. I'm going to celebrate with you, because great that you did that, because you did that. And
yeah, but I mean, I once said this to somebody, and I'll make it brief, but I once said, when somebody big at the top wins, we all win. When the little guy wins, it all feeds off each other. Just real quick, when Tiger Woods got real famous, everybody won because he was bringing all the advertising, all the money, all the dollars over, and everybody got to reap those eyes on Tiger. And so I want everybody to win. I want Jeremy to win. I want you to win. And I want the small guys to win. And there's no reason why somebody couldn't. The economy is big enough. And like you said, the point of view, why not start your channel, especially if you love it? So what's that one piece of advice you would give to somebody starting out? If you could think back, what's that one piece of advice you'd give yourself or give to somebody starting about content creating?
If no matter what industry you're in, because you can be a content creator for just about any industry, but find something that you're passionate about and just start talking about it. Just start talking about it. Put yourself on camera and start talking about it, and create make sure that you promote yourself well between, Instagram, Twitter, whatever social media platform you want to be on, but never give up. Don't give up. Be consistent, be yourself, keep doing what you do. Eventually you're going to start attracting people, and your channel is only going to attract the people you want to attract based on how you do your thing. So that's my advice.
I think your passion, like you have, will show through, and people know it's genuine.
Absolutely. And be genuine, of course. Yeah.
Okay. If there's one thing that you could clear up about being a content creator that most people have wrong, a misconception, what would it be? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I think, and I have not thought about it, but as you were saying it, I was thinking, especially in this industry, don't, I think people assume that you're going to be at a very early stage in this thing. They're going to assume that people are going to throw themselves at you and give you free stuff. And don't assume that everybody who's a content creator is all getting free stuff. Take your time and talk about the things that you already have, and eventually start networking with brands and reach out, but network with them and show that you're genuinely interested. Don't just pretend to be just to get it and then not do anything about it. So I think the misconception is that if you're a content creator, you get everything for free, you're entitled to this stuff or whatever. Just remember, don't have the attitude of entitlement. Don't have this expectation that people are just going to give you stuff. Work for it, buy the stuff you can afford to buy, talk about what you want to talk about, be passionate about what you want to be passionate about, but don't expect stuff to just get handed to you. People who are in this industry have worked very hard for the things that they received, but that's not enough. Also, don't sell yourself short. Don't just allow, people also assume that I'm making a lot of money because of this. I don't make a lot of money. I've spent more money than I make. I spend more. In fact, any money that I've made has all gone back into this. Like anything that I've made has been recycled back into this industry because I love this industry. So
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And it's not just that. It's, if people knew, Joe, just on my level, I have 300 and something subscribers. Okay. If people knew the amount of work that you put in to make the tags and to put the descriptions in and everything, to edit the videos, to, make the thumbnail, to go into the different places and promote it, man, they probably wouldn't be as mad of you getting a free bottle of something because of the amount of work that goes into it, not just the money you're spending, but the work that goes into it. So my hat's off to those people that get those things. So because of the work.
Yeah. And some people will say, well, that's not enough. Like, you'll get to the point where a free bottle is not worth your time, but don't have this attitude of entitlement either. Don't make this about like, well, I'm worth more than this. You are, but take your time and make sure you show that you are worth more than that, and make sure that you provide value. That's the thing. You want to give value back, not just, just hurry up and create content, but it's valueless content, or it's just, make sure that it's also click-worthy content as well. So it's got to have value and attract other people into whatever you're doing.
Right there is one of the points of the whole interview. Awesome, is to keep sowing and quit trying to take all the time. Because if you keep plucking the apples off, you're going to run out of apples. So you got to plant, man. That's an important point. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the events or the situation that led to you being a fragrance consultant? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, because of my sales background and probably because of my passion too, I think people just realize I'm very passionate and genuine. And I think the turning point in my life, really the thing that changed my life, was Essence. When I went to Essence for the first time ever in 2018, that was a life-changing event for me.
Awesome.
And part of the reason why that was such a life-changing event was because I met everybody. I met influencers. I met creative directors. I met distributors. I met perfumeries. I met everybody, brand owners, like everybody under one roof, people that I wanted to work with, people that I have worked with before. Everybody was there. And I took the initiative when I knew that I was going to reach out to all those people that I knew I wanted to meet, do things with, and set up meetings with them and do videos with them while I was there. And I think that's when things just, people start to realize, okay, this guy's real. Like, he spent the money to go to Italy, and he spent lots of money to stay a week and a half in Italy for this thing. He's real. Like, nobody paid me to do this. Like nobody, like I said, I spent way more money than in doing this than I ever received. But I think
that's inspiring. That's awesome.
That was for me life changing. And like, I'll never forget it. Yes, I came home with lots of free bottles of perfume. Sure. I mean, you're going to, because I came in there as the press. When I went to the show, I was considered press. So the press always gets something out of, they always do. They just, no matter what, the press will always bring home something. So yeah, that was exciting. I came home with fragrances, but what was better than all of that was all the connections I made, all the connections and relationships that I created while I was there. That was the most important thing ever, because that is literally what's perpetuated me above and beyond everything else. So what had happened is I have relationships with various perfumeries already, because I had gone to New York, I had gone to Cleveland, I've gone to where else have I gone? I've gone to LA. So I've been to, like you said,
Cleveland.
Yeah, I've been to Cleveland, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So have you been to Indigo Perfumery?
No.
They're in Cleveland. So, but like various perfumeries, I've been to their place, and I get to meet the perfumeries, and I tell them I went to these shows, and I'll tell them, hey, this is a brand you guys need to look at, or something, like exciting or whatever, or and Oswald's as well. Like I've been to all of these places, and there's still a few places that I still haven't been to, but I still am in contact with their owners. I talk to them all the time, so that started, and then eventually, at the first show, I've been asked by some of these perfumeries, hey, perfume companies, sorry, do you know anybody in the US? Because we're not in the US yet. We'd like to be. Do you know any perfumery that would like to have our stuff in the US? And I remember like helping 5 or 6 brands, never got paid at all. Never. I helped these brands get into a specific perfumery, and that's when it all started. And like literally all that, like I never got paid for it at all. They just, I got them into this place, and it's great. Now they're in the USA, thanks to me. And then the year after, when I came back in 2019, these brands all were like, thank you, Joe. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for helping me out. And eventually I think brands start talking to each other, and like, yeah, there's this guy, Joe, and you could tell he's passionate. I really like Joe, or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they're saying that. I don't know. But I got reached by one of the brands, and there's like, hey, we want to pay you to help us get into these perfumeries. I'm like, wow, okay. But we don't want to pay you as an individual. We want to pay you as a company. Like we want you to be we want this to be, because we can't really pay an influencer to do this. Like we're not going to call you we want to pay you as a person of a company that's technically helping us as our liaison. So that's when it started. I mean, like I created a company during the pandemic. At the start of the pandemic, I created a consulting company. I registered as an LLC, Joescentme Consulting now. And then I had already 4 or 5 brands that were interested in me helping them out under my belt. And now I have over 10 brands or more that I've been helping. And these brands are doing great. These brands are all around us. Brands like Agatho, Electimus, Precious Liquid. Those are those are my people.
Shout out to Richard.
Yes. I mean, I have so many brands around me. Regalian is a new one that I just picked up. Ojuvi up there, Vertus. I have over 10, Christian Provenzano is one of my, favorite perfumers, and I have his brand. So I have so many brands now under my belt right now. And I help these brands get into various perfumeries around the world. And it's exciting.
That is exciting. Are you working with that brand? I don't remember their name. They're the ones that are inspired by the different rivers. What's that brand called?
Yes, that's one of my brands.
Okay, I forget their name.
Well,
I
I'll tell
love
you,
that.
it's called Steve Martin Perfumes.
Yes,
Parfums.
I was so intrigued by that at Scent
Yeah,
Explorer, man. That was amazing.
five,
But anyways, I don't
five,
want to get off on that.
five of those brands that were at Scent Explorer were there because of me. Those
Oh,
are
really?
those are the brands. Yeah, Electimus, Precious Liquid, Steve Martin. I'm looking around my room to like see like who else was there. Like, so that's Steve Martin, Precious Liquid, Electimus,
Yeah.
a few other brands, but yeah,
Yeah, there was Fragrance Sauvage was there, and I know, Homage was there. There was a lot of people there. It was crazy.
Amouage, yeah,
Mask Milano.
Mass
Yeah,
Milano. Oh,
that's when I
of course,
first.
Agatho was there. Yep,
Yeah,
Agatho.
yeah, yeah. Boise,
That's
is it?
that's four. Oh, and Christian Provenzano.
Yeah,
That's five.
that's right.
Those are
Yeah,
the five I had. So Electimus, Christian Provenzano, Precious Liquid, Steve Martin, and Agatho. Those are the five that I put up on at Scent Explorer.
yeah.
So
I feel like this is just a little tangent, and I'll get back to my interview. I feel like Richard needs to really, tell people that he was, the master perfumer at Tom Ford. Really work that up and let people know that he did oud wood. I think that would help his cause, because that when I look at lists, when I just Google lists about what people think some of the best perfumes were ever made, oud wood is almost in everybody's list on Google,
yeah,
and he should
yeah.
really work that up.
I told him that. I told him that too. Like I talked to him. In fact, today I'm going to be doing an interview with him
Okay,
for
cool,
for a video chat for the video. So
awesome,
yeah, I talk to him almost daily.
cool.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
awesome.
I'm excited
Okay,
about it.
cool. Let's see. Answered that. Let's just go ahead and get into the fun part, and we'll kind of wrap it up. Just kind of do some fun questions, and then I'll try to
Okay.
get you done here by 11:30. So, okay. Who is your favorite fragrance content creator? Do you have one other than you?
One of my favorites is Steven from Redolessence.
Oh, yes.
I think it's because he's passionate. He's also extremely knowledgeable, but very articulate too. Like
Yes.
he's really good. Like he's very polished. Like when I watch his videos, there's very few outtakes. I've actually been in his home. I've been in his studio. I filmed with him several times. But when he does a video, he's almost like a one take wonder. Like he just does it in one shot and it's done. Unless there's a dog barking in the background,
Yeah.
he doesn't do do-overs. Like he is spot on. Like he hardly has to edit anything.
I don't know if you saw my interview with him. I have a two-parter. The next part comes out on Monday, and I just released my interview with him Friday. And I was just like, everyone's like, "Oh, awesome interview, Scott. That was amazing." I was like, "Yeah," because of Steven. Like he was like Jordan, and I was like one of the guys that came off the bench, and I looked like a genius.
I love Steven. I need to do some more stuff with him.
Yes.
In fact, Navitus is one of the brands I consult. So that's his brand.
So you should. Yes, he talks about that a lot. In
Navitus is one of those brands. So that's one of my brands. So
and now Redbrook, right?
Well, Redbrook isn't, but I love Redbrook, and that's a special brand for me too. So
absolutely. Okay, cool. If you had to pick, and I'll let you get away with picking three if you want to, who is your favorite designer house?
Designer house, Guerlain.
Girl, me too.
Yeah, Guerlain is, I think, yeah, if I had to choose, yeah, Guerlain is one of mine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the IDL L'Homme line, and that's one of my favorites.
Yep.
How about Niche?
Oh, that is so tough. Because
and I know because you work with companies, I can't make you.
No, that is really tough because, and it's not because but I feel like I'm discovering new things all the time. So it depends on what season I'm in my discovery. Like sometimes, like I could say, what's the greatest discovery for 2020, or what's the greatest one for 2021? And there's so many great fragrances out there. There's so many great brands, but like, God, I don't know. I really don't know. Like I can't answer that because like I can tell you I could tell you some of my favorite perfumers. I could tell you some of my favorite brands, but like I can't just say here's one brand and boom, that's it. Like
I understand. No
it's
problem.
so hard.
That is a hard one. Here's another hard one. Your house is on fire. You're saving all the family, but you can only save one fragrance from behind you. Which one are you going to grab first?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, do I grab the most expensive one, or do I grab the one that I know is going to mean the most to me? I don't. That's a tough one.
I'm trying to stump you.
No, and it's true. It's like most people would just probably grab the most expensive one from there, or the rarest one. But I guess, I mean, for me, I would just. I have to grab the one that's probably going to have the most sentimental value to me.
Yes.
Which is the one that had probably the one that, I don't know, I would have to say it'd have to be like something that someone gave me that is no longer around. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I got you.
That's what I would do.
This is mine right here. This
signature.
Yeah? Signature would be the one I would grab. So that's one of my favorites in my collection. I just love it. It's a lavender bomb and I love it. Okay, how many fragrances do you have in your collection?
I haven't actually counted, but I do believe I'm over 1,000 bottles.
Wow.
I think I'm over 1,000 bottles.
I got a little ways to go.
What you see here is there's another wall that's identical to this wall on the other side of behind the camera. You
just recently shot a video and I watched it and I was going.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot more than what you see on camera right now.
Okay. So you kind of mentioned this a little bit. I know you're in the music industry a little bit and you're doing the fragrances, but other than those two things, what are some of your other passions and hobbies?
I love luxury automobiles, but I don't have them.
Nice. Me too.
I'm in the cars.
Me too.
Video games and hi-fi.
Okay. What video games do you like?
Call of
Anything?
Duty.
Yeah,
when I was playing, you know,
I know it's hard to find time.
5 years ago when I wasn't doing videos, I was playing. Call of Duty was my thing.
What's your number one dream car? The first one you would buy if you won the lottery? I'm not saying you play the lottery.
I already have a Tesla, but I would want the newest Tesla Model S that's coming out with Plaid Plus.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
I want that. That's what
cool. I want. I definitely would like to have a Tesla as well. So, okay. What would one thing people would be surprised to know about you?
That I'm bilingual. I speak Romanian and I speak English.
Oh, cool. Awesome. That's cool. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean,
it doesn't, it could be a couple.
I like comedies. I like action movies.
Yeah. Okay.
But I feel like there's some movies that just don't get old for me. Like Forrest Gump doesn't get old.
Yeah, it doesn't get old, does it?
I really like Forrest Gump.
I don't know if you like that movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I like that one.
Seen it. The music is good if you're in the blue.
That's what I like about it. Okay, what's your favorite music to listen to?
Oh, I listen to gospel. I listen to classical. I listen to jazz. I listen to Broadway. So, and sometimes I like electronic music, like dance music.
Do you? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So lastly, is there anything that you want to talk about that you have coming up or anything you want to promote for the channel or anything you want to say out there to your viewers or my viewers? Just you could use this time to say it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Scott, for having me on your channel, on your video.
My pleasure.
Sorry that it took this long to finally make it happen, but it happened. It's happening. And really glad that you gave me the platform to just be able to get to know me and for your viewers to get to know me as well. And yeah, I mean, I'm just excited that 2021 is still off to a great start. Scent Explorer for 2021 is going to happen. I'm going to be part of that as well.
Awesome. So, I'll be there.
I definitely, that's what I do want to say, that Scent Explorer is going to be very exciting this year as well. So there will be
Virtual
more.
or in person, do you think?
We don't know yet. We believe
Okay.
it's going to be virtual. We do
Okay.
believe it's going to be virtual again this year. That part we do believe.
Okay.
But we are still on the corner, like on the edge of knowing whether it is going to be also in person and virtual at the same time.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
And it's going to happen in November. So it's going to be in November again, but I think we're going to extend the hours and make it longer so that more people from around the world can be part of it. So
yeah. It was such a big hit, and I was so thrilled to be a part of it. And I highly recommend it to anybody. And it was awesome, life changing. So cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, thank you, and we hope that you guys have a great day and enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you again.
Honor and privilege is all mine. I just thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, because I know you're super busy, and I appreciate it. It means the world to me. And thank you so much.